in SEC play. It's LSU and Texas A&M, but only one.
This is a lot of football to be played here in the month of November. But as we say around here, the games in November are the ones you remember. Our first goal is to go win an SEC championship. And that's what we're striving for.
That's why we come to Texas. As a little kid, you live to play in these type of games in this atmosphere.
They're going to be loud, they're going to be rowdy, they're going to be energetic.
It's going to be a dogfight, four-quarter game.
We have to play physical and we have to execute. Trust in the culture that we've developed.
There's a standard, and that's the way we're playing it in there.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you, Derek?
Oh, what's up, brother? I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. So we got a pretty good show tonight, man. We we have a special guest with us. He's committed to play at Texas State.
Again,
And,
another one.
Yeah, we are on the Texas State train right now.
Yeah, third Texas State player we've had on here, which is awesome. Man,
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny knows where the talent.
Yeah, he knows it's all in East Texas, man.
That's it.
Doesn't matter where it's at. He's really big on the East Texas area, or just Texas in general too. So, so before we bring him up, I'm going to play an ad real quick on one of our sponsor ads, and then we'll bring him on.
At Hospital Customs, we do custom apparel using embroidery, DTF full-color graphics, engraved leather patches, and supply full lines of promotional products like engraved tumblers, notepads, pins, and so much more. Y'all should go check it out.
That's what you play college football for. That's why you come to Texas State.
Turn me up a little bit more now.
Hey, Javaruis, how are you, man?
I'm good.
How's it going, brother?
Going pretty good.
Oh, look at the stats, man.
I
Look at the
know.
stats.
It's crazy, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, man. So kind of talk to us about, coming in, obviously as a freshman. So if I remember, did you say you started off at linebacker?
Oh yeah, I had started off at linebacker just because well, I wouldn't. I think I was honestly. I think I looked just like that freshman year, and I was one of the fastest people on the team. So I think any coach would have put me at linebacker at that point, better linebacker. I came in. Uh, I had played 2 games before I got injured. And,
Hmm.
the first game I scored 2 touchdowns. In the first play of the game I had a tackle for loss. And then I think I had like uh, 8 tackles that game. Then we played Fairfield. I was a running back, went down the sideline, tried to catch myself, broke my arm.
Oh man.
Dang.
Yeah.
So kind of walk us through that. How did that take a toll on you at that injury? I mean, I'm assuming you were out for quite a while. Did you have to have surgery and all that, or was it just a cast? Or
I had to have surgery. I broke my forearm. It was the forearm bone. I think that's my strongest bone in your arm.
hmm.
Yeah. Had to put a metal plate in there.
So was that how was that on you mentally with that injury? I mean,
So
was that a pretty tough time for you during all that?
yeah, because that was the first year in high school. So basically,
Mm,
I was trying to prove myself that I could have been a voice because I was already kind of mad at myself that I didn't make it because I was just as good as those guys.
mm-hmm.
You know, and plus I had a little more. I think I did that multiple times too. Same thing, trying to catch myself. So that was just, I did it again. So, yeah.
Wow. So what was the reason? Did you kind of go to changing to that defense tackle role, or was that like a coach thing, or was that kind of just? I mean, what was that like? I mean, did you want to go to that position, or were you wanting to stay at linebacker when that time came?
I definitely wanted to stay a linebacker, but they had put me. I think the first game of high school, I started out at linebacker, but then someone on the D line got hurt, and they said, "Well, let Bell go down there and play D line, and we'll put someone else to be linebacker." And they think the game changed when I was down there. But really, we was already up by like a lot, but they said it made the game change even more when I was down there. I mean, they couldn't get the ball. Still was
Mm,
shaking.
Probably a lot of speed coming right there off that line. I mean,
Yeah,
different from I'm not gonna say you're not a true defensive tackle, but a linebacker has a lot more speed than defensive tackle. So when you drop it
mm,
down like that, almost like a Micah Parsons type role, just dropping
yeah.
down. Um, what So what was the recruiting process like for you? I know we talked a little bit off stream about it. Was it early? Did they start recruiting you kind of later? Your senior year, or did it happen maybe junior, sophomore year?
Well, my first official offer was a D3. It was my junior year. I think high school called it Murray University.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if y'all heard of that, but I had asked him. I said, "Well, is my college being paid for?" And they told me no, so I thought there was no reason for me to go there if I'm not. They basically just told me, "Hey, you can come play here, but you still gonna have to pay for come." So I could have just did that. I could have just walked on and did that.
yeah,
And,
for sure.
then my first B1 offer came my senior year when UTEP was the first one to offer me.
UTEP. Oh, nice. We
Oh, that's
actually have a
another good
UTEP
one.
guy coming on too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he probably knows. I was on a visit.
Oh, yeah, so you went on an official visit at UTEP. You did.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
That's awesome, man. So when did Texas State when did they come in and what was that like? Was that like did you get to have some talks with GJ or was that more on just the defensive side of things with the coaching staff there?
it was on a defensive side. I ain't talked to him. Well, yeah, I talked to him after they offered me,
Mm-hmm.
and he got on the phone and started talking to me. They offered me about 2 weeks after UTEP did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why UTEP was saying I think they Twitter recruited me. They
Was
said, UTEP got him. Let's go get him and change his mind.
What changed your mind?
The school was a lot closer, and then my dad was telling me, don't you want your grandma to come see you play football? 'Cause, you thought about
Keep
that,
it,
shit like that.
yeah,
And
keep it close to
teams,
home.
yeah, teams a lot better. And that's the second thing about it. And I thought about it. I said all the coaches have been to the NFL. Not one coach in there said they did not go to the NFL.
That seems to kind of be the
Saying
theme with everybody we've kind of talked to. Outside of Cam, everybody wanted to kind of stay close. That's kind of the theme that I've got from everybody.
And then Coach Ken actually played for my favorite team in the NFL. So he got connection. Yeah.
Right.
Did anybody all these teams that recruited you, was there any of them that were interested in you switching positions, or was it always just defensive tackle? Like maybe going back to linebacker or playing another was it defensive end? I mean, I'm just curious if
I'm basically all over. They didn't necessarily try and play deep tackle. Some of them UTEP said I would be on the edge, somewhere on the end. Also, they said I'd be a free tech. But I don't think they're gonna put me on directly over the center. I don't think that. I think that's only high school for me. They can develop me to get me there, but I think what they told me, I think they just want me to play in and free tech.
Okay, yeah,
I'm one of those faster. I'm one of those faster D linemen because I run a low 4.840.
So. 4.8.
Wow. Yeah.
That's moving.
That's moving. Yeah, that's moving.
I think they want that in the middle.
Wow, that's pretty fast for a defensive tackle. I think it is. That's very fast.
For
sure. So it looks like you. I mean, obviously at Brownsburg you play a little offense. So you like offense or defense better?
Honestly, I do. I rather if I had to pick one, I would rather play the offense.
Offense, okay.
I like scoring touchdowns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's. I know, and I can't remember what is Brownsboro. They're 4A. They're 4A. I mean,
there was parts.
It's really rare to even at that level to see a defensive tackle playing a little running back. That means you obviously you have speed and you have good vid. I mean, you're just good at to be able to play that type of game going from a defensive tackle, and then next play on offense you're back there at the running back position.
Theoretically you could win the Heisman because you play both ways.
Yeah. I try to get my coach up there.
That's the thing, right? We play both ways. You can win the Heisman.
They're going with Kevin Connor, so why not?
No, that's crazy, man. I mean,
they actually started me there.
What's up?
I think they actually started me there. Yeah, I was started. We was in two backs. I was one of the starting running backs.
Okay. So you played a lot of offense then if y'all went to the two backs.
Yeah, I did play a lot of offense.
Okay.
Wow. You played a lot, but I mean, yeah, I think that's just very rare at that level. You don't see that at 4A. You see that you see it at 3A and you see it 2A for sure. But I mean, you don't see that a lot in 4A. Someone playing both sides like that. Usually, there's enough players to be able to, everybody to play on one side of the ball. You might play special teams, but you usually don't play both ways unless you're just you got the stamina and you can do that. Even in high school, it's a tough thing to do. I did it as well, and I was always tired.
Has there been any talks? Like I said, I don't want to kind of get you in trouble here, but has there been any talks from the coaches about maybe playing time as a freshman, or is it just kind of get in and kind of see how you develop and stuff like that?
Some of the coaches have told me, they said they don't think I'm a red shirt, but that don't mean I'm gonna walk in there, I'm gonna be playing. Yeah, I still gotta work for it. It's not like I'm not the only one. I'm not the only dude when they recruited.
Right. Yeah, we had a kid. We had a kid from Tyler on last week, or matter of fact, Saturday. Simeon, he was on here last week.
Last Saturday, we had Simeon on last Saturday.
And they kind of told him the same thing. That's what I got from it. You're gonna come in and you're gonna work, and we'll get you in the weight program this off season, and kind of see what we're gonna be at, come fall camp and all that. So I just didn't know, if they had maybe told you something different or.
Yeah. They told me they said they don't think I'm a red shirt.
Do they think you might be playing both ways as well? think you might get some offensive snaps or
they ain't even said like they ain't even said, oh,
little
you
goal
can go
line,
get
little
there.
4th and 1 from the 1, put you in at fullback, little fullback dive.
D-line coach said I have to convince our running back coach to let me do that. So I'm gonna do a lot of convincing.
Hey, I'll get a hold of GJ. I got you covered, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I told him.
You friends with him?
I know. I mean, I
Associates.
don't know him associates because I mean, I had my nephew. He went to Gilmer. Obviously he's from
Nice.
Gilmer. So yeah, I know. I know a lot of him and his track record and played there. Went to the Eagles, had played in the NFL a little bit. So I mean, I know quite a bit. We're trying to get him on. I've been trying to reach out to him. We both have. Derek,
I've messaged the school. I
Yeah,
messaged the university trying to get a hold of him.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we'd like to have him on, even if we got 2 minutes with him, because I know he's a busy guy. But yeah, we would.
Yeah, so
We're trying to get a hold of him. We really are.
This
but
like you said, you're our third guy from Texas State, but there's also 2 more that we're kind of talking with. We don't have them down to come on or anything like that yet. So I'm an Aggie fan and Dustin's a Longhorn. But I said, man, we're getting all these Texas State guys. We're gonna have to go down and visit and go watch some games. So I consider myself a Texas State Aggie. So I got to get both my teams in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know y'all guys hated each other when the Longhorns and the Aggies met up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of that conversation.
That's crazy, man. That's awesome, though, man. Yeah, we actually had the opportunity. We're going to a bowl game here in a couple of weeks, and we're going to the Independence Bowl over in Shreveport, and we're going to go watch the Army and Marshall play. And when we first were looking at it, it was the prediction was going to be Army and Texas State, so we were really excited about that. And obviously, when they dropped everything Sunday, that kind of fell off. But
that would have been a good game.
Yeah,
that would have been a really good game. Yeah, it really would have been a good game. So are you leaving early, or are you staying throughout your senior year? Do you play other sports, or are you just going to kind of hang around and just finish it out?
Oh, I'm not gonna leave until the summer, whenever they tell me to leave. I'm in powerlifting right now, and I'm gonna run track and gym.
Okay, so do you play other sports?
Yeah, powerlifting and track.
Powerlifting and track. Okay. So you're getting ready
we tell everybody, y'all run track. Let us know.
Yeah, we're going to watch both Texas States. One of them plays basketball. We're going to go watch them. Simeon plays baseball. We're going to go watch him. So yeah, man. When you get something going on track, I got a home track meet, man. Let us know, man. We'll come out and watch you, man. We want to do those things.
I probably say powerlifting. I don't know about track.
Powerlifting. I mean, that's coming up soon, ain't it? Or
yeah,
that's what I thought.
I gotta get me in that 100 meter on varsity. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you want to see that race.
Hey man,
it's more or less just coming meeting you and kind of thanking you for being on, man. Just kind of supporting local kids. That's it. I don't care if you come in dead last, man. Like it's just about supporting you for coming on and hanging out with.
How many other defense tackles are out there running the 100?
No,
exactly.
That's my point.
Usually when I get on the block start, to be like, "What you doing out here?"
Yeah, you're like,
my fastest time was an 11.2.
That's moving, dude. For a defensive tackle, you can't compare an 11.2 defensive tackle to a 10.1 sprinter. I mean, you got to look at 11.2 defensive tackle as an 11.2 defensive tackle. I guarantee you, there's not a lot of defensive tackles running 11.2.
No.
I'll vouch for you on that one, brother.
Is all you do in track? You do shot put and disc, or you just do a little bit of running?
Shot put disc, 100, 200, and the 4x1.
Oh my God!
Bro, you're a sprinter, my man. You're a defensive sprinter. That's what you
do. That's insane. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like
I've never known. Let me put it that way. I've never known a defensive tackle that was a sprinter.
No, they might do one event, but they ain't doing 100, 200, and whatever else, and then shot put and disc. I mean, when I was in high school, I used to do shot put and dish just to get out of school, not to even go and care about it. You're over here doing the extras, man. That's impressive, man. That's running as a defensive tackle is impressive. I don't care what nobody says. That's insane. Well, man, is there? Excuse me. Is there anything else that you kind of want to talk? Oh, the kind of going back to the injury. So, what was that recovery like? What was that? Was that like was that just the remainder of that season, or did you kind of just since you did do, I don't know if you were doing other sports then, but was that just did you just kind of take the rest of that year off to kind of get recovery and just get ready for next football season, or was that kind of a shorter recovery time?
It didn't really take that long. Well, it took long enough to where I could miss the rest of the season. I could have came back for one game, but it was like, I don't know. I feel like if I get hit like in the right way, it's gonna snap again. Cause it's like a newborn hand. It's like it don't feel like.
It's always that first game after coming back from an injury. Like you need that first hit to be like, all right, I'm okay. Like I got hit, I was injured, I got hit, and I'm good. Like I can do this.
I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy, because you broke your arm. My daughter broke her arm about 6 months ago, and she's 6. It took her 3 weeks to recover. 3 weeks and no surgery, and she broke it right at the elbow. Right at the elbow.
They usually take about like 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks.
See, that's still for breaking something that doesn't
that is like wild.
We were so skeptical too when like we went to it and they were like, all right, we're taking the cast off, and I'm like, hold on now. Hold on now. I listen, this is my 6-year-old. I'm trying to let her play some sports when she gets older, and she healed great. She had a little bit of therapy, but yeah, I mean, did you have to go through therapy to kind of get that motion back, or was it kind of just taking it slow after you got that full recovery done?
Oh no, it didn't take much. I broke my arm by like 3 times, so it was kind of like, okay, we're gonna do this. I did it on my own.
You said 3 times?
Yeah, 2 of them in Little League, and the other one was in high school. So it kind of when I went down, it kind of felt like a cramp. But when I was trying to get up, the cramp wouldn't go away. I said, "Oh," and I looked at my arm, but.
Still to this day, do you ever get like worried if something might happen again? Or is it kind of just been whatever? It's the game of football. I'm probably going to get injured again because I mean, playing the game of football, since it's a contact sport, I mean, anybody can get hurt. Like the one person that never gets hurt is going to get hurt at some point, whether it's a little ding or it's a break, just because of the type of sport it is. Especially like you said, I mean, you put your arm out there, and I mean, it's just unfortunate you break it. But I mean, do you ever get worried about that again, or you just kind of don't worry about it no more? It just is what it is.
I don't really worry about it no more. I just tell myself, hey, just go down. You know what I mean? You already got the first down. You don't need to really. You don't really need to try to be Superman and try to hold yourself up with one arm. That's what I was really trying to do. I was trying to keep going. And then sometimes my coaches when they watch my games, when you watch film, they'll pause it right where I put my hand out. They be like, "Stop doing that." That's how you get injured. I think they did that about like 3-4 times in one film.
Yeah,
I don't really worry about it.
That's awesome, man. It's good that you kind of let it go. I mean, because again, you are going to play at the next level. So, well, man, you have anything you want to ask us, or talk about something that we kind of missed on?
No, sir. No, sir. I think I got it.
Well, I got 2 questions.
We always end with these 2 questions.
I always end the interview with these 2 questions. Who is your Heisman winner?
It got to be Travis Hunter. It got to be Travis.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question off that question, and it's not the second question. What is Travis Hunter the best at in college football without telling me that he plays both ways?
What is he the best at?
Without saying that he plays both ways, what's he the best at?
Well, you can't really name me one player that can stay on the field for all 200 snaps, 170 snaps.
Without telling me he plays all the snaps. Snaps is not a stat. What is he the best at?
I think he is the best receiver.
He doesn't lead the Big 12 in receiving, interceptions, tackles for a defensive back. None of that. He doesn't lead the Big 12 in any of that.
I have a question to kind of piggyback
Yeah,
off that.
it makes you
What-
think
what-
a little. See what I'm saying? That's the whole Heisman hype is the snaps. But you take that away and look at each individual position. He doesn't lead the nation or the league in anything.
Okay, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
I have a question. If you had, okay, you're in NFL draft. You seen what Jimmy can do. You seen what Travis can do. Out of what you've seen, okay, it don't even got to be a draft. It can be like a random football team you want to make up for like other guys. Who are you picking? You picking Jimmy or Travis?
I'm picking Genty 100% if I'm in the NFL.
Jimmy?
Is Travis Hunter going to play both ways in the NFL? Is his body going to hold up both ways?
Well, we never thought he could play both ways in college until he did.
I mean, we're talking
that
Big
kinda-
12. I mean, I know you're going to throw the Mountain West thing in there, but
Oh no, college is college. There's balls everywhere.
put Genty on Bama with
Bama?
or Georgia or Penn State, whoever you think has the best offensive line in the country.
Well, I think they do.
What's he doing? I mean, yeah,
they have an SEC offensive line.
They have an SEC offensive line. We discussed that a couple weeks ago. But now you take Hunter and put him on Georgia or put him on Bama. He's not bodying those receivers. I mean, those cornerbacks. Those are SEC first round corners he's going against. He's not putting up them numbers.
We just talked about this too. Like we were talking about the bowl games, right? This was like we were just talking about the bowl games when they came out. We were hoping that to kind of, I guess, for people to see like what does he do outside of the Big 12, and
they put him right back with a Big 12 team.
We were hoping we were hoping that they were going to play like Alabama, Miami, somebody like that to like I mean like those would be tough teams to play. Obviously, there'd been a game to see. Alabama, Colorado, Alabama, Miami, and we just felt like they wasted a lot of these games. If you go and look at them, they're like playing like the only game that I saw that was like kind of interesting was LSU and Baylor. Like, yeah, that's a good game, but like I would have minded if Colorado. I wanted to see Colorado play an SEC team just because like I do think Hunter's good. I do.
I think he's probably the best athlete in college football.
One of the best I've seen in a while.
I will 100% agree with that. I don't take anything away, and I think playing both sides of the ball, 157 snaps a game is amazing. I think that's freaking awesome. But the Heisman goes to the best player. He's a great athlete. He's not the best player at any position. At any position, he's not the best at.
I do think Genty deserves it.
Take Genty off of Boise State. Are they the number 3 seed in the college football playoff?
No way.
Take Hunter off of they don't even make a bowl game if you take Genty off. Take Hunter off Colorado. That's still a 6 to 7 win team.
That's
I can argue that.
But also I say a lot of that. It's a
You
lot of
don't
that.
think so?
Yes.
A lot of that is Shador too. I got to give a lot
I
to
was just
Shador.
going to say Shador is an
Shador's
amazing
nuts.
quarterback, and I didn't like him at the beginning of the season. I was not high on Shador, but then you get to looking at his stats and his completion percentage and just kind of like watching him. I mean, he doesn't force a whole lot at bad pass wise, but he does get sideways with it sometimes, trying to get it to Hunter so much.
And that comes to the next question, Derek. I'll ask him. I know what you. Who's winning it all this year?
Winning it all. I think I got to go with Oregon on this one.
Oregon? Okay.
I think Oregon has all the weapons. They have all the weapons. I think they have, in my opinion, I think they have the best receiver in the
that
country.
receiver for them is.
Stewart,
I watched.
Talking about is it Tez?
Tez or Taz Johnson, I think is his name. He's insane.
Yeah.
I watched them for the first time this year when they played Penn State, and between him and Dylan Gabriel, that team is super scary. I am nervous because Texas is on that side of the bracket. Because Oregon's insane. They are. I watched the thing on Dylan Gabriel. His release time on the ball is the fastest I've ever seen anybody throw it in college.
Yeah, it's nuts.
His mind is not like anybody else's. He reminds me of when it comes to an IQ level, he reminds me of Nikola Jokic. Their minds are well above the rest of the field. Like they know what's going on before the play happens. Well, yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. We do a lot, especially on the short notice. I text you and you were very responsive, and I personally appreciate that. And if you have nothing else for us, man, we'll keep in touch with you. We'll maybe we'll have you back on after your first season, see how things went for you, and we'll just keep following you, man, and seeing how things go for you next year.
Yeah, like I said, keep us let us know when your track meet. If you're somewhere
for real, man.
So we're just north of Longview.
We're not far
we're
from
in the area.
Yeah. I come to Brownsboro and work all the time.
So you watch some games?
Say that again.
You watch some games?
I couldn't hear you. Say that one more time.
I said you watch some games from Brownsboro?
No, he comes to work in Brownsboro.
I come and work there sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I come there and work sometimes. So, but yeah, man, keep us updated, and man, like for real, send us a track meet, man. If you have a home one, man, we'll come out there and watch you throw and watch you run a little bit, and man, you take it easy, and we'll keep in touch with you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
All
right. Another Texas State kid.
Man,
11 flat and 100. That's pretty good for a defensive tackle. Or 11-1, whatever he said.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane for a defensive tackle, man. That's actually impressive. That's a fat. Obviously, he plays running back for a reason. I mean, obviously, running backs usually run 4.5, but a 4.8 and playing defensive tackle, that's impressive, man. That's crazy. But well, man, I'm gonna run another ad real quick, and then we'll hop into a few bowl games and the one big game I think of the weekend's the biggest game, the most fun game, one of the best games to watch every year, and then we'll hop into that and
all right,
keep it all rolling. So yeah, we have W Energy. Obviously still one of our newer sponsors. They have energy tubs that you can buy. You just mix it with water. They have little shakers you can buy. They even have a little sample package. You get a few flavors in there, and you can try them and see which ones you like. And if you use code TS 2024, you'll get 10% off, and that also contributes to our podcast. So y'all go out there and check that stuff out. So, man, Jackson State and South Carolina State. Jackson State, after Dion leaves, obviously this is the second year he's been gone. They found their way into a bowl game. They were 11-2 this year. Man, they're that's I'm gonna say that's impressive because it's a rebuild last year, obviously.
What were they last year? Do you remember?
Well, I was about to pull it up right now. So I just kind of want to look over their season this year before I jump into last year. So they lost to Louisiana Monroe 30-14. They played Lane and Southern. I'm not sure who those are. Then they lost to Grambling. Then they beat Texas Southern. They beat Alabama A&M. They beat Florida A&M. They beat Bethune. They beat Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Mississippi State, Alabama State, Alcorn State, and Southern.
They beat Mississippi State?
Mississippi Valley State, excuse me.
Mississippi Valley State.
No, Mississippi Valley. Man, a lot of their wins are big. Their closest one was 16-10 against Alabama State. All the other ones were massive wins, like not even close.
And they're giving up only a point. How good is South Carolina State?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to pull them up. So, so they played Florida A&M and lost by 4. They played the Citel. They won that one. They lost to Georgia and Southern. Then they beat North Carolina A&T. I'm not sure who that is. Tennessee Tech they beat. Fort Valley they beat. Delaware State they beat. North Carolina Central they beat. Howard they beat. Morgan State they beat. And North Fork State. So they lost 2 games this year as well. They're in the MEC or the MEAC. That's the conference they're in. I mean, in their statistics here, I'm kind of looking at it. Man, their quarterback wasn't bad. He had 2,500 yards. His name is Eric Phoenix. He had 2,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and only got sacked 14 times all year. That's
pretty good.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So that means the offensive line is pretty good. And then if you go back to Jackson State, so their quarterback was 2,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So their quarterbacks are pretty even. Their running back.
Jim said he watched a few games.
Okay, you did watch some games of theirs. And then their running back had a good year. He had almost 1,200 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns. And then South Carolina State, their running back had 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm going to assume that might be an injury thing. That seems kind of low for a whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was the backup, or I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, man, I think this is going to be a good game. Like, it's the first game of the bowl season. Obviously, it's not the first game that week, but it's the first bowl game. It's at 11 a.m. It's in Atlanta. It's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday, 11 a.m.
This Saturday, 11 a.m. That's a big stadium to play in for anybody. I mean, obviously Texas and Georgia just played in there.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna go ahead and pick. I'm gonna pick here, man. I'm gonna go on a blender here, and I'm gonna pick the underdog here. I always like the underdogs. I'm gonna go South Carolina State by 3 points here. I don't know much about either team.
South Carolina State by 10 because Travis Hunter went to Jackson State.
I figured that's why you
give me South Carolina State by 10. The Bulldogs, baby. Let me have them.
Kind of going back. Hey, what's going on, Juan?
My
hi,
friend.
Mark. What's going on, everybody? Sorry, we were so into the interview. I wanted to go back and make sure we noticed everybody that was here. Second game, man, you got Southern Alabama against the University of Western. What is this? Again, I don't know much about these teams. I just wanted to talk about them, man. They're the first bowl games, and
that's Western Michigan University. And
Western Michigan University, yeah.
South Alabama.
South Alabama is favored by 10. Kind of.
South Alabama was hot for I think the 6 out of the first 4. I mean, 4 out of the first 6 games, or something like that.
Yeah, they both ended up 6-6. So I think they South Alabama kind of fell off, but I'm sitting here looking at some stats, you know, what the teams have done this year. Quarterbacks are about even. The one for USA. When I saw that, when I was making this, I said USA. I was like,
yeah.
Am I missing something here?
Yeah.
But obviously, I see why it's like that. But he has 2,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 receptions, and then the one for the West. Who is this? What's this team again, Derek?
Western Michigan.
Western Michigan.
Yeah.
He's 2,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. So, and then on the running game, they're dead even, almost 832 for 13 and 874 for 12. So it looks like both teams are balanced. This is as even as it can get across statistic wise. So
did you have you seen the record for South Alabama? I mean, like the games. So
that's exactly what I had pulled up here. Is they played some teams.
They got trounced by North Texas in week 1.
Yep.
They lost in week 2. Then they come back and score 87 in week 3. That's the game that they ran the clock midway through the second quarter.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes. Then they beat App State, who we thought App State was going to be okay. I know it's first year, kind of up. But,
but they were supposed to be pretty good this year.
Put up 10 on LSU. Lost by LSU. 2 to Arkansas State. Lost by 4 to Southern Georgia, or Georgia Southern. Lost by 7 to Texas State. So I mean, it's not like apart from the LSU and the North Texas loss, the 1-score games. I mean,
they beat Louisiana Monroe, and they beat Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
Wow.
Both those teams were good.
Hot take right here. Look at this. Western Michigan running back Nixon played ahead of Genty at Lone Star.
What?
Wow.
No way. Hold on.
Great info, Mike. Appreciate that, brother.
I'm digging into this right now.
Wow.
What was his name again?
Nixon. Last name Nixon. You should be able to pull it up on.
And he said, was that a Western Michigan? I'm on the wrong team.
Yeah,
that's why I can't find him.
Says Irving, Texas, Junior.
Yeah.
Jaden Nixon.
Wow.
There he is. Mike called it right there. Jaden Nixon. Yo,
Yeah.
great pull, Mike.
Yeah, man, thanks for that. That's awesome, man. I mean, Texas kids, man. We always every time we talk about a game, I know recruiting is so big in Texas. It's massive in Texas, right? Texas is one of the best recruiting states in the nation. And here we go, another Texas kid we're talking about, and we ain't talked about him all year.
Yeah, I ain't never even heard of him.
No, that's awesome, man.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna look him up.
Thank you, Michael, for pointing that out.
I'm gonna look him up on our Twitter page and see if I can get him a message.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at this other team. They played Wisconsin, lost by 14. Pretty impressive. Like Wisconsin losing by 14, not bad. Then they got Ohio State, lost 56-0. I mean, as expected.
Yeah.
Then they played Bethune. They won by 28. Then they lost to Marshall by 7. They beat Ball State by 3. They beat Akron by 10. They beat Buffalo by 7. They beat Kent State by 31. And they went on a losing streak. Northern Illinois. They lost to Northern Illinois 42-28. They lost to Bowling Green 31-13. They lost to Central Michigan 16-14. Then they beat Eastern Michigan 26-18. And that game put them in the bowl season.
In the bowl, yep.
So they finished strong. Obviously, they're in the MAC. And who won that? Was that Miami? Miami won that.
Miami, Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio won
Ben
that.
Roethlisberger's old stomping ground.
Yeah. So that's a again, man. This team. They're both 6-6.
I'm taking the Jaguars. Give me South Alabama. Give me the 10 and then me South Alabama. I think they win by 14 or more.
I'm going Western Michigan. I'm gonna go the opposite of what you do. One of us will win.
One of us have to win. That's right.
I'm going for the East Texas kid here having a big game. I'm gonna say 125 yards and a couple tutties. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, he's gonna finish the year strong. East Texas kid, that gets him over 1,000. Well, it's close to over about 1,000 for the year on rushing yards. So, man, let's get into the big. I mean, this is a big game. I mean, we talked about this game when they were both ranked before they both played. We thought it was going to be a good matchup. And
Notre Dame just whooped both of them. I mean,
we thought this was going to be for the AAC at one time, and we thought they would be playing. Well, they would have been playing back to back technically.
Yep.
Never happened. Navy just fell off. Army fell off one game, but they finished 11-1.
Excited to see them in the Independence Bowl.
I am stoked to see Bryson Daly in person.
Yes.
I'm so stoked to see him in person because we even talked about him being potentially in the Heisman at one point because of what he was doing. And then when they lost Notre Dame, it kind of just whatever, Not that I think he was ever going to get it, but the hype we were putting into it was exciting,
Yeah. Especially Josh. Josh was big on it.
Josh had him in there for like 3 weeks. He never let him go.
Josh had him running with it, baby. I think he had him all the way up to 2 at one point, I believe, and then the Notre Dame game happened.
He did have him up that far. So,
Jim says Army, baby. I'm with you, Jim.
This is one I'm not gonna not go against you because
how much? What's the score?
Army's only favored by less than a touchdown. I do not. What I just seen them do to Tulane. And Tulane wasn't like a great team, but they were supposed to they were good and they'd lose a game and they were good and they'd lose a game and they went on a 2-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
I think Army blows Navy out
45-17. Army
big. They're gonna win this game.
I think Daly is gonna have a field day because
I would not be surprised if we see Daly get a passing touchdown in this game just because.
Just because he can. Yeah.
Yeah. He was 2 for 2 last game for 17 yards. I want to see him pass. I hope I get to see him pass in person because obviously we know what he can do with his legs.
Yeah. I hope he goes for 250 and 4 tutties when we go to the game. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be insane. But yeah, I think
5 overtime game. Let's just play all night. Let's just run it.
Yeah, this is going to be a blowout. I mean, unless Navy plays to how they were before the Notre Dame loss. But even with that, I don't know if they can keep up with this Army team. I
And,
think
you know, this is one of those games, just like we talk about the Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. Throw the rankings away. It's 0-0. They're finna to play. That's all they're fixing to do. They're gonna come out and play.
This is kind of cool though. Like these two teams get a I mean, this is Army still has another game. This will be the last one for Navy, but Army will have to play. They'll play this Saturday. Then in 2 weeks to the day, they'll play again.
Yeah,
and we get to be there, and that's
They
exciting.
pretty much get it. This is their day. Like I know those two smaller bowl games are playing, but this is their day. This is Army, and I love that college football does that. Like I love that they set that aside for these two.
And they've been doing it for so long. I love it because I mean, obviously, it's the military. I just look at this as the military and everything that the military does. Obviously, just what they do for the people that live in this country is this is like almost like another way to reward those veterans. They get a game for them almost.
For them, yep.
And that's what I love about this game. And like they were both like good. Like I think they're both still good teams, but like Army is still a good team now. Navy's good. I just don't think they're on the level of Army. And I'm excited for this game.
A senior? Let me see. Let me pull this up right quick.
Let's see. He is a. Let me pull him up. He is a senior, and he is from Texas. He is from Abernathy.
Abernathy. What? Wow.
Yes, he is a senior. Yeah, he is a senior. That's crazy that he's from. Man, I didn't know he was from Texas. All this time we've been talking about him, all these shows, and I didn't know he was from Texas.
I would like to say this though. Daly with a massive improvement in his passing game from last year. Last year he was 60 of 120, so 50%. 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. This year, 45 of 78, 8-1. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, which I mean, he pounds the rock, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, 1,400 yards, 29 touchdowns.
Almost 1,500 yards rushing.
And 29 touchdowns. He'll get over 30 touchdowns this weekend.
Oh yeah, and I
love it.
And their running back's good too. He has over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the touchdowns, but he has over 1,000 yards. Yeah, man. Army in this game by 21 plus, easily. Easily by that amount. Okay. Well, before we go to our next topic, let's run a quick another ad, and then we'll hop into we got Jim's upset, or not even necessarily Jim's upsets, but his picks.
Yeah,
his picks for the ball games this weekend.
And then I got a special shout out after that.
Oh yes, we do. We do have a special shout out after we do that.
After the pick.
And then after that, we'll roll into we're going to talk a little Heisman, just a little bit. I know we're not there, but they finally announced I think they got it right with the picks. I do. I'm going to give them that now. Who they pick, that's where there might be a screw up, but we're not there yet. But we're going to talk about. I have some interesting stats that I've seen today that I had to get on here to plead our case for who should win. And so let's get into this ad, and we'll hop into that.
One of the many things that we offer is a fence repair. And today we're out here in Longview, Texas. We are going to be replacing a rotten 4x4 post. Fence restored and standing tall. You can reach us at 903-619-6343.
All right, Mr. Jim, you're up. It's your show, man. Well, we'll play Jim's picks for the week, and then we'll have a shout out, and then we'll get into some Heisman.
Tired Sports, what's up, baby? It's the one and only Jim with Jim's Bulldog Beatdowns. Got a couple of games for you this weekend. First one, we got the military, and thank you for all you do. We really appreciate it. I got Army, Navy. I got Army 30, Navy 17. And my next one, we got South Alabama and Western Michigan. I got South Alabama 21, Western Michigan 17. And as always, y'all have a good one. Go Dogs. Tired
I love it, Jim.
I love the Go Dogs. He always puts that in there. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if he's talking about
Dogs.
And honestly, I can't think. I'm trying to think back since we've put this segment in, how many times he's even talked about them. I think maybe once.
Maybe, yeah. He sticks to his. He sticks to
Jim,
his stuff.
Jim, I appreciate you for not being biased.
Yes, that's why you fit with this show so well.
Because you pick the teams that are not Georgia. So
next week's going to be really fun. We're going to bring his. We're going to let him do a playoff bracket.
Yes,
we're going to see. We're going to see what Jim thinks about his Bulldogs' chances.
Hey, Jim. I do have a question for you since you are a Georgia fan. How are you feeling about Beck not potentially getting to play at all the rest of the playoffs? Because that's big.
That's huge.
That's huge for them because they would. I actually think that they played better with their backup.
They played better with the backup. I think that as well.
How do you feel about the backup starting? Obviously, I think he brings a different game to them because he is a runner. He's almost like an Arch Manning. Now, personally, I don't think he's as good as Arch, but he brings that type of game to the game that no one has seen because all they get to see.
I
is
will tell you this:
Texas.
When that backup got his head rocked at the goal line.
That was an eye opener for sure. He was like, "Whoa!"
Beck wasn't making that run.
No.
Beck takes a sack or Beck throws the ball away. That kid put his body on the line to try to go win the game right there. And what they do?
Oh, for sure.
Next play, touchdown. Next play, ball game.
Yep.
But while we're kind of waiting on Jim to respond to that, we got a little special shout out today. This is kind of cool. I did a little math on this, so I'm gonna really sell this in case anybody's listening. Class of 2035 linebacker Adrian Mikowski, the Lafayette Hornets, had 3 sacks in his last game. So big shout out to Adrian. It's Jim's grandson. I love it. I love that we got to do that for Jim. I hope you are watching this. Go tell all your buddies that you're on a national podcast, man. Coast to coast. Everybody, 700 people watch you tonight. Get your name out there, man.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, Adrian, man. Keep playing football, man. Class of, you say 35? Oh, my God.
Class of 35.
Wow. Yeah, man. Keep playing football, man. You're young, man. Keep playing. 3 sacks in your last game. Couldn't do better than that in your last game.
That's more than the Cowboys have had all year. So good job.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't lying about that. Yeah, I agree. Jim, he does settle in. And he does get 3 weeks to get ready in a sense. Got about 2.5 weeks left, but get some time to get settled in with the first team, and they really get to get the right plays, the right play style for him.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what's going to save them. And when I say them, I'm talking about Stockton, the ETN, the running back.
If he plays if he plays how he has been, or not even like he has been,
yeah.
If he plays like he should play,
that's going to be huge.
I don't think they'll miss a beat, but if the run game isn't there, that's where Georgia's really going to struggle because then they're going to have to rely on him more than maybe what they want.
And he doesn't have to. Their defense is, there's 12 teams in the playoffs. When their defense is playing well, they're a top 2 defense in college football playoffs for right now.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I look at who's in it right now.
Rely on that. Like, you don't have
Oh
to go out there
yeah,
and throw for 450 and 9 touchdowns each game.
no,
Win a 17-10 kind of game. Win a 28-24 type of game. Don't try to outscore people. Control the ball, run the ball, and let your defense win games for you right now. That's where you're
yeah,
at.
that's exactly where they're at. I mean, if that defense plays like they have been, especially against the way they played against Texas, because I thought throughout the year those were the best 2 games that their defense was at their best was against Texas both times. We get that defense in the playoffs, that's what they rely on. That should be that in the run game, and then let Gunnar Stockton do his thing within that, and that's how they
move the pocket for him. That's something that he looked good at when he was getting outside the pocket.
Hey, y'all have enough overtime in one game versus back-to-back games, which it was only one overtime last game, but
yeah.
The thing Georgia doesn't want to do is they don't want to have to go into a slugfest battle because I think that's where they'll lose.
I agree.
Who would they play if they win? Who is it down there? I'm thinking of the bracket in my head.
Indiana.
No. Oh, Indiana. No, it's SMU. No, that's not that game.
Let me see. I'll pull it up.
Hold on. I got us right here.
Oh.
It would be Indiana or Notre Dame.
Oh, it sure would. I was thinking that it was the SMU game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
man, I think they can beat both those teams.
Yeah, I do.
Running the ball.
Where they would struggle is the semifinal, depending on who they play. Because the team that they want to play is Boise, because it would be running game against running game.
Yes.
But if they were to go against even with Notre Dame, not even Notre Dame, Indiana would probably be more of a struggle than Notre Dame because Indiana is a pass heavy. And if they were to get in a slugfest with Indiana, you don't want to do that. Even with Indiana, I don't think Indiana's on that level. But if if Indiana's scored because of their passing, and then they've got to find a way to score whatever it may be, that's where they could. I'm not saying they will, because I think Gunnar Stockton is better than what we know because we don't know much with him.
Yeah.
We saw pretty much a half of him, and that was it. Did he play great? No, but he played good enough to win the game.
You know what I just realized? And I do not like this at all. I think this is wrong. Do you want to tell me why the ACC champ is behind the team that they beat?
Yeah, I know exactly why. I know exactly why Clemson's at 12.
Why?
Because there are 3 losses, and if they would have lost that game, they're not even in the playoff. That win saved them to get in the playoff.
Yeah, but if you beat a team, you should not be behind them.
No, I agree. No, I agree.
Wild.
I agree. But I'm saying the reason they're in that position is because of those reasons. They won the ACC. I thought with them winning the ACC, they would. Well, first of all, I did not think they were going to get 12. Again, we talked about this on Sunday. Notre Dame should have been 12. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
The
only time Notre Dame should never be a 12 seed is if somehow they're a 1 seed. Then they should get the 5th seed. I would go that far. But there's no way that you're sitting there with 2.5 weeks off because you don't play a championship game. So you're already getting rested up and going into the playoff.
Yeah, because and I've been looking at the bracket. I've been watching a bunch of stuff since Sunday. This is actually a terrible seeded bracket because Oregon should not have the toughest battle to get there. They should have the easiest because, well, they're number 1 seed. They've got to play. Look who they have to play next. Either team. Like, could you imagine if Texas was in the 9 or 8 spot? Why would they have to play Texas right off the bat? Oregon. That would be insane.
We talked about it. They should reseed after. So say Clemson and Ohio State and Penn State and Indiana all win. Well, Oregon gets Clemson, and then Georgia would get Indiana. 3 would get, what is that, the 9 seed, and 4 would get the 6. They should reseed after, and I think that would be the correct way to do it. But like I said, I don't some of these teams shouldn't even be in there. I think they missed the mark on 2 of them personally, but I don't.
I agree. I mean, I know we're not talking about this, but it just happened. I mean, we're here now.
Yeah.
The Clemson should not be 12, and I don't say that because I'm Texas. I don't want to play in Clemson. Clemson won the ACC, but here's the thing: is if they would have lost the ACC, they're not even in. So that was a must win just to get into the playoffs. But I did not see them being 12. That was not.
I would even go as far as saying, if your group of 5 is going to take a number 3 spot or a 4 spot or a 2 spot or whatever, they're going to take a spot away from a conference champ.
Mm-hmm.
I would go as far as saying the conference champ should be the number 5 seed.
Or
I don't know, man. There's so much.
If this would have been me, I would have been good with everything else, but I would have put Notre Dame at 12. I would have put SMU at 11, and I would have put Clemson at 10. That's what I would have done. If these teams are in, you have to put Clemson over SMU. Why do they get to be number 12 when they beat SMU?
Yeah.
Right? And then, again, the Notre Dame thing, they didn't play a conference championship. They should automatically be 12. And Jim, Dustin, is Texas, Georgia going to meet again? Man, the only way they could beat it if it's in a national championship. And
I don't think one of them makes it. We'll go down that road next.
Yeah, further we get into the playoffs. But man, we'll go more depth into this. We'll pick our games. We'll pick everything. In a way, Jim, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, you don't want to see
Texas, whether it's Texas in or whether it's Georgia in. I don't want to see them. I want to see them both in because that's your team and that's my team. But from a fan standpoint, we've seen it twice, right?
Yeah.
I want to see different teams playing for the Natty, whether it's Texas playing somebody or Georgia playing somebody, or hell, if they're neither one of them are in. Like, I mean that because it would be the 3rd trip. Like we already potentially might see Ohio State play Oregon again. We've already seen it. Like, I don't understand. Like, when I think about this, goes back to the bowl picks. Like, they made terrible bowl picks. I wanted to see certain matchups because you had the opportunity to pick them, and you dropped the ball. Like, I don't want to see Ohio State play Oregon again. I mean, it will be a good game, yeah, but we've already seen it once. I don't want to see Texas play Georgia again. Maybe I do because I want them to beat Georgia, but that's it. Not because I know what I'm going to get. And no offense to Georgia, I don't want Texas to play them without Beck. Because guess what? If they would have played Georgia in the championship and Texas won, guess what we get to listen to for the whole offseason? Georgia didn't have Beck. That's why they lost. That's why they lost. And that's what I got to listen to. So it's like, I want to see teams like that's like saying if Oregon lost Dylan Gabriel,
you didn't beat them at their best.
You didn't beat them at their best. It's the same thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to see it again. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but I just, from a fan standpoint, I don't want to see it again. But I hope one of them make it just for me and your sake, just because that's our teams. But yeah, that's a conversation for next Wednesday. Because little Heisman talk here. I have some stats that are you cannot deny. These are stats. They're rankings. You can't. I mean, they are what they are. This should be an easy win for Genty. Genty is in first in almost every category except for rush yards attempt, and the total offense is 4th in the nation. That's it.
And it doesn't help that when it's total offense, their quarterback's not throwing. He's a good quarterback. They just don't have the receivers. They don't have the supporting cast around him.
No. Where's Scatterboo? Well, unfortunately, he didn't get the invite.
And one of my
you're just asking where he's at. That's a good question. Well, I found this on the Heisman website that I was looking at. These were stats because here's where I'm at on this. I've seen nothing about Dylan Gabriel, nothing about Cam Ward. So this tells me in my mind that these are going to be the two. These are the two guys that will win it. One of these guys will win it. Those other guys are there, but I don't even think they're in the consideration. They're just there to be there, to get the invite, to say, hey, I went to the Heisman ceremony. I mean, I believe that.
So Scatterboo is 1,570 yards, 19 touchdowns, 500 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns, 0 fumbles.
Wow, all year. No, I mean that's because the way he runs.
0
Man.
fumbles for the last 4 years.
Wow, that's impressive.
He's probably well, his career's kind of been up and down. So freshman year, 520 yards. Sophomore year, 1,300 yards. Junior year, 800 yards. Senior year, 1,500 yards. Touchdowns went from 6 to 7, from 7 to 9, from 9 to 19. So that's
Wow.
and what a run, dude! What a run they went on the last 5 weeks. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, BYU, Arizona, and then Iowa State in the championship. And these were his numbers in those games: 153, 73, 147, 177, and 170. 9 touchdowns in 5 weeks. So that's awesome.
Scatterboo.
Yeah.
I was watching something today. Again, I've watched a lot of things this week. I like listening to other people outside of us talk about players' teams. And they were talking about first games, they had made their picks. They're like, all right, Texas and Arizona. They said Arizona has everything. They have one thing, and that's all they have. They have Scatterboo. And they're saying Arizona State will beat nobody. And I want to believe that. But the reason they don't beat them is not because of them; it's because of the defense they got to play.
Yeah.
Even if they did have to play Clemson, that's going to be a tough game for them because that Clemson defense is not anything like the Big 12. Whatever Big 12 defense is the best they played, it's still not even on Clemson's level. They're not. I mean, I'm not knocking the Big 12. They're just playing the better competition, and I hate that for Arizona State. In a way, I feel like they got screwed for winning the Big 12. In a way, it's how it feels. They got the bye, but look who they might have to play. I mean, it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's not doable because I think we talked about this with Cecil. Anything can happen in college playoffs. Anything. But their road is tough to get past the next opponent. Jim, you're saying that because I'm a Texas fan. I'm not going to let you get me rounded up way before we play that game. I'm going to act like I didn't see that comment. Derek, take it down. I do think it's going to be a good game. But listen, the stats are here. ESPN committee, you're listening. Y'all know Genty deserves this. Yes, a running back's done it. It won't be the last
I don't know
time.
if a running back has done this. I mean,
it's been
in almost everything.
These stats right here, it has been 37 years since someone done this like this. 37 years.
And then, dude, I don't know if I've ever seen a player be 6th in the nation in reception. I don't know if I've ever seen a player be not in the top 100 for receiving yards.
And I'm gonna say this about Travis. I think Travis is a phenomenal player. He's an amazing athlete. Do I think he can guard people? Of course he can. He's fast. He has great hands. He has good feet. But if I'm him, next level, I am playing on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, that's where he shines. I mean, it's right here. It's his best stats, offense. We can agree on that. Because look at the defense. 29th interception.
And you know what they say? Oh, they don't throw at him. They don't throw at him. They didn't throw at Charles Woodson either. But he still had all of the stats.
And that might be the case. They may not throw at him because of their whatever the case might be, because they don't want to throw at him. But the thing is again, when it comes to Heisman, in my opinion, it's not just about snaps. It's about what you do for your team. And he does a lot for Colorado. Like, I can't sit here and say he doesn't because he does play both sides. But, you're not top 5 in anything. You're not top 3 in anything. Like, yes, he's great. Yes, will he succeed at the next level? Yes, but we're talking about Heisman, the best player on a team. And Genty by far is the best player on Boise.
Let me ask you this. You brought up Hunter in the NFL. What is his ceiling for you in the NFL on both sides of the ball? What is his comparison?
Well, for one, he's not playing both ways.
No, absolutely not.
But I could see him now. Obviously, there's as good as he was in college. overall, we have to look at everything. He's been a great, phenomenal college player. But obviously, there's going to be some growing. Obviously, there's going to be some learning. Obviously, there's going to be some getting bigger and stronger and even a little bit faster. It's part of going into the NFL. It doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm talking about, I'm going to go offensive side of the ball first. If I see a comparison, I mean, we've talked about it. It's Devonta Smith. Devontae Smith from, I mean, that's what his ceiling is at his highest. And I think that's a great comparison. Now, if we go to the defensive side of the ball, if he gets bigger, and he goes defense, I could I see a Jalen not is it Ramsey? Jalen Ramsey, the
Mm-hmm.
cornerback? I could see that. But I feel like knowing him and how his mindset is, he's going to try to play both ways. He's going to do what no one's done.
That will
And
set the franchise back 10 years if he tries to do that, because he's going to end up getting hurt, especially playing all these snaps for 3 straight years. He's already got 10 years worth of, you know what I mean? Like the mileage.
Yeah, he already has a lot of mileage, but those are my two comparisons if he went to either side, and I don't think those are inaccurate. Those are good comparisons. Like, are those the best receivers? No. Are they the best corners? No, but they're great corners. They are a lot.
I'm going to tell you mine, and it's completely unbiased. Like, I think everybody who watches this show, who is on Facebook, on all the freaking pages that we're on, that I post to, know that I am not a Travis Hunter fan. But this is an honestly unbiased, straightforward opinion. Offensively, he reminds me of Jordan Addison. Going to be a slot receiver, going to go down, get him some yards, going to have a big game every now and then. That's his ceiling for me, is Jordan Addison. He's not going to be your number one on the outside, going against Patrick Surtain. He's just not going to. Jalen Ramsey, he's not going to do that.
Mm-mm.
Defensively, while this cornerback was an All-Pro and a Super Bowl champion and all this and that, Travis Hunter is going to be a Richard Sherman. He's going to be a great cover 2 corner in the flats, but he's not going to body up with the bigger receivers. Yeah, you think he's going to guard DK Metcalf?
Oh,
you think he's going to guard AJ Brown?
If he gets on DK Metcalf, all they're going to do is throw it over the top.
That's what I'm saying. Now, yeah, he can guard the smaller guys like the Devontae Smith, or you know what I mean. But he's not bodying the big guys.
If those teams, whoever drafts him, puts him in the positions to do that, like guard the DK, guard the AJs, guard the Justin Jeffersons, do those, he is going to get embarrassed.
Tyreek Hill is going to run right past him.
Now that would be a fun matchup.
Oh yeah,
but it would be, because it's like little guy against little guy. They're both fast.
Yeah,
but his first year is going to be tough. The NFL is not college. It's just not.
Mm-mm.
Now, I think he has great upside. I think he will succeed in the NFL if he's put in the position to succeed. The big word is if, and it's not on him. It's on those coaches, on that staff, to put him to succeed. If you stick him out there as your wide out to go over the top, you're going to fail him.
You're going to fail.
If you put him in there to guard a DK Metcalf, you're going to fail him.
Yep, I agree.
Now, if they put him in the right positions, he's going to succeed. He will have a great NFL career. It's the same way with any of these guys that go in.
Yeah.
Like Micah Parsons, he went to the best position he could have been, and he succeeded year 1. Now, that's because that defense was not good the year before, but that's what comes down to these people being successful at the next level, is the right position, not forcing them to do something kind of like how Bryce Young's been forced to be a quarterback that he wasn't. Now they gave him a break. Now you're seeing what Bryce Young can really do at the NFL level, because they changed things up. They made him sit. They made him do this. They made him do that. He learned, and he's been doing a lot better at the quarterback position. That's what it's got to be even for Genty. If you bring him on and you're thinking he's going to rush for 200 yards in the NFL, you're going to be mad. You're going to be upset with it, because it's not going to happen. The NFL is not college. And with the running game not being what it used to be, and it's coming back, we've talked about that. But if these guys put in the right positions to succeed, they will succeed. But that's up to the coaches and the coaching staff to do it for them. That's kind of my take on that.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree 100%, man.
I'm ready to see who wins this thing. I mean, it's going to be talked. It's talked about a lot, but it's about to really get talked a lot about more here really soon, more than it already has been. But all right. Well, let's another quick ad, and then we'll hop into some NFL games for this weekend.
Drew Henkel. Therapeutic is located in South Tyler. Drew specializes in deep tissue work to relieve your chronic aches and pains. Drew also offers sports massage or full-body stretch sessions for athletes or people who have tight muscles. Find him on Facebook or call him at 903-747-0417.
Comanche Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her a call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
All right, first game up tomorrow night. My LA Rams versus San Francisco, both coming off big wins.
I'm rolling with the Rams.
Yes, yeah, man. I am too, man. I mean, obviously San Francisco.
I feel like he went somewhere he doesn't want to be. Yeah,
and Michael, we agree with that because we can see that. I mean, if you're not put in the best positions, you will not succeed. And of course, when you're drafted, projected to go, let's say with him top 3, you're going to a bad team. You're going to a bad team. You're not going to a good team.
You're not the savior. Like, that's what they're going to think he is.
No, he's not, because the 3 teams that could potentially get the top pick need a lot more than just a cornerback or receiver to get better.
Yeah.
Can he make the team better? Yeah, but they're not going to win 6 more games because they brought on Travis Hunter. Because that's just not how it works.
I agree.
But yeah, good plug on that. I mean, that you hit it on the nail, and you're right. There is not going to be a Dion there to protect him. But Dion will try, because that's who Dion is. But
yeah, I got the Rams. I know San Francisco's giving up 2.5. I like the Rams. I'm not sold on the Super Bowl Rams like you are.
I'm still sold on them. I'm still rocking.
I'm not sold on San Francisco at all. Defensively, they're not good. Offensively, they're struggling. I don't even know if Debo plays anymore. I hadn't heard Debo's name in forever. Kittle shows up every now and then. McCaffrey's out.
Mason's out.
Yeah, I mean, just
it's Brock Purdy, and that's about it. And Bosa, Brock Purdy and Bosa, and that's it. And
yeah,
they can't. The Rams are going to be too much for them.
I agree.
The Rams win by 14, in my opinion. They're
100% agree.
Something like that. So,
well, I'm thinking more 31-17, 31-14.
I mean, if they get the Rams of last Sunday, it's going to be bigger than that.
Yeah, I agree.
With what the Rams did to the Bills, I mean, that was a great game. But yeah, Steelers Eagles, man, big showdown, AFC NFC. Man, this is going to be a really This will be a good game, man. We finally get to see could be potential Super Bowl matchup. It's a potential. I mean, just because, these teams are great. Philly's favored by 4.5.
We got a lot going on in the locker room in Philly.
A lot of things going on with Philly. And that's why I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this game because of that.
I agree with you on that as well.
And is this the best team Philly has faced all year? In your opinion? I mean, defensively, maybe not offensively, but defense. This team is, man.
Oh, defensively for sure.
As I'm looking at.
I know they played Baltimore a couple weeks ago, but that's more of an offensive thing than it is a defense.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here looking. They've played here's who the Eagles have played so far: Packers, Falcons, Saints, Buccaneers, Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jaguars, Cowboys, Commanders, Rams, Ravens, Panthers. So yes, this will be the best defense they've seen all year.
Probably them or Dallas, I would say.
Even Dallas, you could say. Dallas's defense isn't horrible, but it's not great by any means. It's not the Dallas of the last couple of years, but I do think the Steelers win this. I think they shut down Barkley a little bit. Like they slow him down a little bit. You're not stopping him. You're going to slow it. You can slow him down, but you can't stop him.
Yeah.
I still think he'll get about 100 yards or so.
I will tell you this. I think it's going to come down to Barkley versus Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever plays better wins the game.
And Russell's been playing great, man.
He's been playing pretty good. I will agree.
I've seen a lot of the Seattle Russell Wilson this year.
Yes, and that's scary with you saw what he did with Seattle with the defense.
When those defenses he had, teams.
Yeah.
And it helped that he had Marshawn Lynch back there too.
Yeah. That's what Pittsburgh is missing is a running game. Like Najee just has not panned out.
Not like we thought he would.
I thought he's coming out of college. He was an absolute.
He was a stud, man.
He was a Pittsburgh guy. He was a downhill runner in college. I thought he would have thrived in Pittsburgh, but he really just hasn't lived up. Now he's only in his 4th year. But I think a change of scenery is coming for him, and I think it's needed.
Yeah,
I would not be mad if it was a change of scenery to Dallas, Texas either.
Oh God. It wouldn't hurt him.
We could get him for cheap. We could still build the offensive line through the draft because obviously we're not getting Genty.
No,
because we screwed ourselves on that one. But yeah.
Yeah, I got Steelers winning by. I'm gonna give them 10. I'm not gonna say a full-on just blowout because the Eagles are a really good team.
I actually have it 3 or less.
Oh, okay. So you have them 3.
I have it close. Maybe 26-24, 27-24, something along those. Maybe 21-20.
Yeah, I just with everything that's going on in Philly right now, I think that's going to affect them in this game.
Yeah.
I do, and I think the Steelers win. 27-17, something like along those lines. Not that I don't think Philly's good, but just all that going on, it's just going to carry over, and controversy and everything going on. It's going to hurt them in one of their biggest games all year. Not that it matters because it's not a division game, nothing like that. But I think the Steelers win this game. Like I said, I give them 10. Another man. This game
could be the Super Bowl.
This another potential Super Bowl matchup here. Man, I don't know, man. You're not
gonna like my pick.
Well, you may not like mine. Maybe we have the same.
I'm gonna tell you the score first.
Okay.
31-20.
It's got to be Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo too.
There's something about Josh Allen.
I know they just lost to the Rams, but it's not like the Rams played bad and they beat them. The Rams played the best game they played all year.
The Rams played great. You're right. The Rams played great. It's hard to go against 12-1 at home. But man,
it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling.
I think Josh Allen needs to have a game where he puts his name kind of back up there in the MVP talk because it was up there, and I think it's still up there. But I think Saquon. I know it won't go to a running back, but I think Saquon has slightly overtaken Josh Allen for MVP.
I agree.
And I think he needs a game to at least level the playing field, and I think he has that this weekend. I think he has an MVP type of game, and I think they hit Detroit kind of early, maybe 10-0, something like that, and they'll battle back. But I think late in the second half they'll just kind of pull away with it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I got Buffalo winning this. I'm gonna give them 3 points, because I just feel like Buffalo is, again, I know they lost, but they didn't lose to a Rams team that played like crap. The Rams played probably the best game they played all year, and Buffalo played great. It just what it is, you know. Detroit's great. Man, it's a tough game, but I'm just going to go with the Bills, man. I'm sticking to it. I think the Bills win this game. And a close game in Detroit kind of puts them like, hey, like I know we're 10-3. Like people probably looking at us like we're not good, but like we're going to show you how good we are. We're going to go in here. We're going to beat this Detroit team, and then we're going to go on to the next game and, There ain't very many. There's 3 or 4 games left in the season.
Yeah,
and,
not very many.
So it's crazy to even say that. I mean, it seems like it just started yesterday, but yeah, I'm taking Buffalo in this one.
I like it.
Hey, you see it up top.
Great Sunday night game. Let me just look.
Can the Seahawks beat a good team? That's the question. Can they beat a Green Bay Packers team? Because their records are very similar. Can Geno Smith not turn the ball over against a good defensive team? Can they finally, in my opinion, beat a good team that's, in my opinion, probably better than them? But Seahawks has they'll win, they'll lose, they'll win, and they'll lose. And now they've kind of gone on a winning streak. I think for them to continue the success, they need to win this game to show, like, okay, listen, we're for real. Geno Smith hasn't had the best years with his interception and touchdown ratio. He has the yards, obviously, but can they prove that they are a playoff team?
Are they winning the division, the Seahawks?
I think they were in. The last time I looked, I think they were in. Let me see where they're.
They've got to be winning it, right? Seahawks, then probably the Rams, then probably Arizona, maybe those 3 like that.
Yes, it's Seattle, then Rams, and then Arizona. Yes,
so
they're a game above the Rams right now.
And then they're third in their division. Green Bay is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah. Now I think if I read right, they're the number 1 wild card team right now to get in.
You know what? Give me Seattle by 6. Give me the Rams winning. The Rams could make the playoffs as the wild card because they're not going to win the division.
Mm-mm.
Let them have the wild card and get in, and that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah,
Seattle by 6.
I'm gonna pull with Seattle in this one too, because I do think they're a lot better than they have been. Give me 10. Give me 10 against Green Bay. I'm gonna give me 10. I think
Kenneth Walker's going to have a big game, and I think both running backs have a big game.
I was going to say I think I don't even think it's going to be Walker. I think it's Charbonnet. He's the one that had a heck of a game for him last week.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think Kenneth will play, but they have a little running back duo in Seahawks that's kind of underrated. The problem is Seattle, and it's like the same thing with Dallas, and hell, they're better than Dallas, is their offensive line just isn't that great.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not very good. They're pretty bad. For being 8-5, that offensive line is worse than 8-5.
Yeah,
I
do agree.
Good. But I'll take Seattle by 10 in this one. I like Green Bay. And Green Bay is fighting for a spot, so I think you'll get a hard-fought game from them. But I like Seattle in this one as well. I do. I think they're gonna pull it out and win the game.
I like it.
So, all right, man. I'm gonna run our last ad, and then we'll talk a little bit of NBA because they got the NBA Cup going on. The semifinals started last night, and they're continuing tonight. We'll kind of talk about what went down last night and kind of see where we're at tonight, and then that'll be the end of the show.
All right, that'll work. Right before we hop into this, some breaking news. Connor Wegman has found a new home.
Oh, let me guess. All right, let me ask you this question. Is it SEC?
No.
Okay. Now give me like a 30 seconds to think about everybody that needs a quarterback that may be transferred out. All right, I got it. Oklahoma. You there? Oh, hold on. You're frozen. Don't announce it yet. It's got to be Oklahoma. Now lose you, Derek. All right. Well, I think there you are. There you are. All right. Did you hear my pick?
Yeah, you said Oklahoma. I've been here the whole time.
Oh, you froze up and there was no sound.
Oh, no,
who
it's not
is it?
Oklahoma.
Dang. Okay.
Last guess. I'll tell you this. They're red and white.
Wisconsin?
No.
Okay.
The University of Houston.
No way.
He
went to
went
the
back
Big
home.
12.
He
Big
went back
12.
home. Yep.
University of Houston. Does that make them better?
No, because he's horrible.
Well, he's got to be better than what they had, right? He's got to be.
Mm.
But here, listen, we talked about him though a little bit. This could revamp his career.
It very well could, and I think that happens a lot, dude. I think moving, and I think that's why maybe the portal is good, because I think you get away and you need that. Like you need that.
I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree, man. I mean, this could be. It's obviously he wanted out of A&M. He didn't have a shot to get that job back. He could turn that team into a. I mean, they're going to be better. Okay, hot take. Does Houston win the Big 12 next year? Because think about it. What if they get some good recruits in? They get some receivers. The defense gets a little bit better.
No.
Could they win? Come on, Derek.
I mean, really, it has nothing to do with him. I think Arizona State maybe run it back with everything that they got coming back, plus the quarterback's coming back.
Yeah, I just had to throw that out there. I was hoping to give your boy a little shot there.
No, dude. To me, once you're trash, you're trash. As far as
did they make a bowl? Did they make a bowl game next year? I think they were 4-8 this year. If I'm correct.
They make a bowl game.
Okay.
The Northwest Texas Pop-Tart Independent State Fair Bowl is where they'll be headed. Go.
Okay, man. Let's get into this NBA stuff, man. Look at this. The Bucks. They're coming on finally.
Yes, finally.
They're figuring it out. Giannis is playing insane. I mean, they're figuring whatever they needed to figure out. I mean, they played so good. I mean, the stats. I mean, look. I mean, they scored 63 points together. That's just. I mean, it's insane.
The Hawks beat the Knicks tonight.
They did 108-100. So the Hawks are in playing the Bucks. Again, man, I want Trae Young so bad on San Antonio. It's not even funny. I think he's so good. And I mean, Oklahoma City. This is not a surprise. Dallas lost that game yesterday.
Yes, they did.
I don't think OKC. I mean, OKC beat them. I mean, look at Shea. He went off for almost 48, 5, and I mean,
he's got to be. I mean, did we say that Shea is going to get the MVP this year?
I mean, that was my MVP prediction. If you remember in our previous show, he was my MVP. He wins it only because of how bad Denver is. Because you can't knock what Jokic is still doing on that team when they're not very good.
Yeah.
Now, he was doing that before they were good. But
I say this all the time. I would love for 1 year, just 1 year, Jokic come out and say, you know what? I'm gonna care about basketball this year. No horse racing, no nothing. Just strictly basketball.
Does he stay in Denver long term?
Oh yeah, he'll retire from Denver. I don't think he
can.
Unless they trade him.
Unless they decide to break it up or something.
Yeah, maybe they don't win this year or next year. Maybe they break it up, but I think he's done within 3 to 4 years anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe he runs out his contract. Maybe does a 1 year deal to run it back, and then just calls it quits.
Yeah, I if he cared, I mean, look what he does and he doesn't care. That's the crazy thing to me.
That's what I'm saying. He could average a triple-double as a center with ease.
Yeah, he's nuts, and so OKC they will be playing the Rockets or Golden State, they're playing now. Rockets are up by 2. It just started. The end of the first quarter just stopped. Man, I was going to ask, how do you feel about this cup? Is this a waste of is this not a waste of time, but is it a waste of avenue? Is it a waste of resources? I mean, do we really need this? 20 games into the season. 20, 25 games.
What do they get, $1 million if they win a piece?
Yeah, and they get a trophy saying they won the NBA Cup.
I'm
just trying to figure out, what does this do for a team? Like, yeah, maybe for the Bucks.
I will tell you what I would like for this to do. Every team plays in it, right?
Yeah, every team plays in it.
Okay. I think you get rid of the All-Star stuff. Okay?
Because it's the same stuff every year. It's really boring.
It's boring. I hate NBA All-Star.
The only thing I like in there is probably the dunk contest, and that's just because of dunks. But
yeah, but you
see it during the games anyways.
When we were spinning around on the little Aaron Gordon dude was spinning around on that stupid little board thing, but anyway, as far as this cup thing, I think you get rid of the All-Star break. I think you play this tournament 3 weeks before what would be quote unquote the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
Have the whole cup. Have it lined up to where you start the cup, and then the day before the All-Star break normally takes place, where they're off for 5 days or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You have the championship. The championship game is the quote unquote All-Star game.
Mm.
The winner of that, whether it's a West team or an East team, whatever, home court advantage in the playoffs for the finals for that conference. So, if the Bucks won it this year, but the Knicks go to the finals, the Knicks get home court advantage.
I like that. That's a great idea. We have great ideas. We need to get a hold of people.
I have fantastic ideas, but
we need to get a hold of Adam Silver. He needs to hear some ideas.
Because you look at it, and I'll tell you another great idea, and this has been floating around forever. There's no more tanking for Shador or no more tanking for this or whatever. At the end of the year, you take, just say Dallas and the Cleveland Browns are the worst 2 teams in the league. Get rid of the Pro Bowl. The week before the Super Bowl, guess what? The Cowboys and the Browns are going to play. That way you don't have that massive gap in between the 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of that game gets the number 1 pick. The loser gets the number 2 pick. So you have a meaningful game the week before the Super Bowl, and you don't have no raggedy Pro Bowl where they're playing flag football out there anymore. I think that's a great idea.
I actually like that. I think that is a great idea. I don't see the point of this cup, because you get a trophy for it. But that's about it. Maybe
you get $1 million a player. Take out your tax. If you live in Los Angeles and you win it, you take out your taxes. You go home with $37.54. Because it's so freaking high to live out there with your $82 worth of gas a gallon. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But we have it. I'm gonna pick OKC is playing. I think they're gonna play the Rockets.
Oh, okay. I got OKC and I got the Bucks winning. I think this propels the Bucks in the East.
Yeah, I do agree that the only thing good coming out of this is the Bucks kind of showing that they started off atrocious, but
I can see that's another thing. Like when is OKC going to play the Rockets?
Well, it would be. Let's see, when do they play? I think Fridays. I don't know. They don't even have it on here. I'm looking at the game.
I think it's like later on. It's like.
Oh no! I have it right here. It's Saturday.
Okay, Saturday. So if you're already scheduling it like that, like the OKC's playing Wednesday, They're not going to play another game until Saturday when they play the Rockets. So it's already blocked off.
San Antonio doesn't play all week this week. Not one game.
That's what I'm saying. It's already blocked off because theoretically you have no idea who was going to be here. When you made the schedule this season and you are talking about the tournament, you had no idea that these were going to be the last 8 teams in this tournament.
And then the finals in this would be Tuesday.
See? Freaking block it off, play the entire single elimination tournament in a 2.5 week span, couple back-to-backs, couple where you got 2-day breaks, and run that sucker until you get to the finals the Friday or the Sunday is the All-Star game. So it'd be like that Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Play the championship on Thursday, let them have off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then like that following Tuesday, pick back up. Give them 5 days consecutive off, and it'd be longer than that for the teams that have already been eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be almost like an AAU basketball, which that's what they play now anyway out there because they're anyway different story, different time.
Yeah,
we're getting into the basketball swing now, so I'm getting excited.
Yeah, basketball's coming as soon as, especially when college football's over.
Once we get down to the 2 bowl games here or there, we can definitely start incorporating more basketball stuff.
Yeah, we want to get on the obviously college side, for sure.
I think
college,
I got my stuff.
College basketball is really good right now.
Yeah, I got my stuff ready right there.
And we haven't had a lot of time to talk about it because the football world is just so hectic right now. So yeah, I'm not excited for football but I'm excited for basketball in a sense for us to begin. So great show tonight, man. Thanks to Javaruis for coming on on a short notice.
Yes, for sure.
We enjoyed having him on, and we hope to catch up with him in the future and potentially make it out to a track meet to see him run that 100-meter dash. And thank you, sponsors, as always. Thank y'all for continuing to support us and as we try to support y'all. And thank you, Jim, as always, for your segment every Wednesday and tell your grandson that we're rooting him on for next year. And Jim, by the way, if you're here, are you coming down soon still? Is that the plan?
I don't see anybody here, but if it is, it's
gonna be soon.
Next year, yeah, end of January, mid-February, something like that.
Yeah, we need to hook up with him when he comes down to Texas.
Yes. Sure.
But please, as always, y'all follow us on all socials. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, X.
Yeah, you name it, we're on it.
YouTube, follow us and get all of our notifications when we go live and just whenever we post. And we will be back Friday. The plan. Hopefully Friday. We're not 100% sure on that just yet, but the plan is Friday to have just a guest on, another guest, another recruit that's playing at the next level. And then Saturday we will be here. Again, a couple of recruits that day. In the morning, starting at
to
it's
be determined.
9:30. Two to be determined. Sometime at 9 or 9:30. So yeah, y'all have a good evening, and we will see y'all Friday.
Later, man.